Welcome to Loving the Imperfect. My name is Brianne Trzynski. This is the 5th episode of my garden posts based on the writings of Vita Sackville-West. So I'm basically using some of her quotes about flowers and some of her poetry and even some quotes from her fiction to inspire these episodes. So like I've done in the past with the Psalms, I'm sort of doing that with her work. Thank you for being here today. If you'd like to subscribe to my work, you'll receive new posts right in your inbox. All you have to do is visit Substack. I'll put a link in my information for the show if you're listening on the podcast. Thank you for being here. So, do you know what turgid means? I had to look it up myself. The tame, too smug, I cry. There's no adventure in security. Yet still my little garden craft I ply. Mulch, hoe, and water when the ground is dry. And that is a little snippet of one of her poems from The Garden, which was published in 1948 from Vita Sackville-West. I was walking in the park the other night, and a woman with a walker was walking in the opposite direction towards me and the dogs. Yoda, our 2-year-old mixed breed, was unsure about her and her contraption. I said to her in passing, "He's scared of your walker. He's never seen one of those." What I thought would be a quick passing interaction with smiles and nods from her turned into an hour-long conversation as this woman stopped, turned towards me on the sidewalk, and started to tell me her life story. While we spoke, people passed, runners passed, Buddhist monks passed, the sun passed under the horizon. "What do you do?" she asked. "I'm a writer," I said. "What do you write?" she asked. "Oh, everything. Poetry, fiction, nonfiction. I have a podcast, but I don't know what I'm doing with it." All week, you see, I had struggled with what to write for this week. I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue with this season. Not sure if I'd be able to, since I just received some pre-work for my graduate program at Duke, and I'm a little overwhelmed. Not sure if what I'm writing here is needed in the world. I had forgotten that when I get overwhelmed with work, creativity seems to drift away from me. "You want to be a priest?" she asked, after I told her about Duke. "I don't know, really. I'm sort of waiting for a sign." This woman was from Ukraine. She said her country is burning. The world is burning. People need to wake up. She told me, "You're a writer. Tell people to wake up. Write about what's happening to our relationships, what's happening to our planet. I believe in the God of love," she said. "Yes," I replied. "Exactly, yes. And I don't know how to heal this broken place. I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know what it would be like to live a beautiful life for 80 years, then get dragged out of my home and left in the woods by Russian soldiers. I don't know what it would be like to have my home destroyed and my family killed in front of me." "We must keep talking about Ukraine," said a Polish student of mine once. I do know that this is at least true. We can't shut our eyes to what's happening all over the world. We can't stop talking about it. If we do, I don't know, will it stop up our hearts? I don't know if going to Duke is the right thing, if leaving my home church was the right thing, but I try to move through the world with great faith. I have inklings and dreams and nudges pointing at paths in the sand, and I try to follow the impermanent vision before the waves wipe it away. No one knows what is waiting just around the corner. At the end of August, I'll begin my first semester at Duke University's Divinity School, where I will spend the next 3 years working towards a Master of Divinity degree. As I'm looking forward to it, I'm also looking forward at it, looking at the syllabi and preparing how I will maintain my family life and my contemplative prayer life while I complete the immense amount of reading assigned to me. So I am keeping an eye on the balance of things, on that sweetness of life, in the blessing of peace. And peace is had, I think, when there is an abundance of nourishment. This is found in nature when it rains just the right amount to keep all the plants and animals healthy and happy. In her book, Out of Africa, my absolute favorite book of all time, Isak Dinesen wrote that rain in Africa is considered a blessing. Whatever amount they received in the rainy season on her African coffee farm would have to feed the plants for the next 4 months of drought. She writes, "It is a lovely sight when the roads of the farms have all been turned into streams of running water, and the farmer wades through the mud with a singing heart out to the flowering and dripping coffee fields. But it happens in the middle of the rainy season that in the evening the stars show themselves through the thinning clouds, and he stands outside his house and stares up as if hanging himself onto the sky to milk down more rain. He cries to the sky, 'Give me enough and more than enough. My heart is bare to thee now, and I will not let you go unless thou blesses me. Drown me if you like, but kill me not with caprices.' Turgid, or swollen in reference to plants, means they are well nourished and have a healthy amount of water hydrating the cells. Imagine a plant whose leaves are plump and stand upright the way they should. That is turgidity. In the year 2016, I did something peculiar. It hadn't rained here for weeks, and the trees were beginning to droop. Everything was looking dull and dry. Even the maple tree my husband planted as my Mother's Day gift was looking sad. I was doing my daily watering in the garden when it struck me how dehydrated my neighbor's lilac bush looked. Its bright green leaves had lost their luster, and they drooped and sagged with drought. At this time, my neighbor was renting the house. They kept to themselves mostly. We hardly spoke. But through my observation, I knew that they rarely looked at that end of the house. They did the bare minimum to take care of the old plants surrounding the property. The rose bushes and irises looked quite healthy and turgid, but the old lilac bush was struggling. A thought came to my mind as I stood watering my own plants that I should water hers too. I went over and threw my hose under its branches. I left it there for a moment while I falsely pondered my own flowers. I imagined her watching my every move from her kitchen window, wondering what the hell I was doing and wishing I'd mind my own business. But the lilac bush was my business. It was all I could see out my kitchen window. I refuse to watch the slow death of something when I can prevent it. Maybe this is how we solve the world's problems. Watering our neighbors' plants, listening while they tell us about the trouble of their lives, while the dogs meander around our feet. Give us enough, Lord, and more than enough. We will have to water the dry gardens around us until the rain comes again. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to take a break next week because I'll be on vacation, but I hope you'll join me the week after that. Thank you. Bye-bye.